Why do even the people closest to you betray you? What lies behind betrayal, and how can you deal with it? Today, we will reveal the true reasons behind betrayal, drawing on the wisdom of Carl Jung. You will learn why betrayal often says more about the person who betrayed you than about yourself, and how other people's unconscious motives lead to a breakdown of trust. We will examine how envy, fear, and the shadow side of personality cause betrayal, and how to protect yourself from its consequences. By the end, you will have practical steps to heal the pain and become stronger. Carl Jung, one of the greatest psychologists in history, said that betrayal is not just an act, but a reflection of a person's shadow side. The shadow is the part of our personality that we hide, our fears, envy, and suppressed emotions. Subscribe to the Flow of Thoughts channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on new useful videos. Jung believed that people often betray others because they cannot cope with their shadow. When someone betrays you, it may not be about you, but about their internal conflicts. To understand why you are being betrayed, let's look at the three main reasons Jung associated with betrayal. The first reason is envy, hidden in the shadow. Jung said that envy is one of the strongest emotions that live in the shadow side of a person. If someone betrays you, it is often because they envy you. Perhaps you have achieved something they couldn't, or you possess qualities they lack, but instead of acknowledging their envy, they project it onto you. Betrayal becomes a way to even the score, even if they don't realize it themselves. Think about it. How many times have you been betrayed by people you considered close? Maybe it was a friend who turned away from you when you achieved success, or a partner who betrayed your trust because they couldn't handle your confidence. Jung said that envy is a shadow that lives in each of us. But if a person does not work on themselves, they will see you as a threat. And betrayal becomes their way of dealing with that threat. How does this manifest itself in life? Imagine a woman who always supported her friend. When she got a promotion at work, her friend suddenly began to distance herself and then spread rumors about her. This betrayal was caused by envy. The friend couldn't cope with the fact that her friend had achieved more, and her shadow manifested itself in the form of betrayal. Or imagine a man who was betrayed by his business partner. He stole his ideas because he was jealous of his success. Jung said that envy is not your fault, but a reflection of the shadow side of another person. Solution: start by realizing that betrayal is not your fault. Ask yourself what this person might be jealous of. Maybe it's your success, your confidence, or your kindness. Write down your thoughts. Jung said that understanding other people's motives helps us free ourselves from their influence. When you understand that betrayal is caused by envy, you stop blaming yourself. You begin to see that it's not about you, but about them. When someone envies you, they may betray you to even the score, even if they don't realize it themselves. But that's only one side of the story. Let's continue and examine two more reasons that Carl Jung associated with betrayal. Jung's wisdom teaches us that understanding other people's motives helps us free ourselves from pain and become stronger. The second reason is fear of your power. Jung said that people are often afraid of those who possess inner strength, even if that strength manifests itself in kindness, confidence, or success. If you are a person who lives by your principles, who is not afraid to be yourself, this can cause fear in others. They see in you what they cannot achieve themselves, and this fear turns into hatred. Betrayal becomes a way to protect oneself from this fear, even if one does so unconsciously. Think about it. Have you noticed that you were betrayed precisely when you were at the peak of your power? Maybe it happened when you achieved success or when you started saying no and defending your boundaries. Jung said that our shadow fears the light. If you shine with your kindness, your confidence, your energy, it can scare those who cannot accept their own shadow, and betrayal becomes their way of coping with that fear. How does this manifest itself in life? Imagine a woman who has always been kind and open. She supported her friend during difficult times, but when she herself began to grow and got a new job, became more confident, he betrayed her by telling her secrets to others. This friend was afraid of her strength because it reminded him of his weaknesses. Or imagine a man who was betrayed by his business partner. When he began to make bold decisions and lead the company to success, his partner felt threatened and betrayed him by stealing his ideas. Jung said that fear of someone else's power is a reflection of inner insecurity. Solution: start by recognizing your own strength. Ask yourself, what about me could have caused this person to feel fear? Maybe it's your confidence, your honesty, or your ability to move forward. Write down your strengths and remind yourself that your strength is not your fault. Jung said that accepting ourselves helps us not to take the actions of others personally. When you understand that betrayal is caused by fear, you stop feeling guilty and begin to see that it is not about you, but about them. Now let's move on to the third reason. The third reason is suppressed emotions and resentment. Jung said that people often betray because they cannot cope with their suppressed emotions. If a person carries resentment, anger, or disappointment within themselves, they may take it out on you, even if you have done nothing wrong. Betrayal becomes a way to free themselves from these emotions that they don't want to acknowledge. Jung called this projection. A person sees you as the source of their problems, even if that's not the case. Think about it. How many times have you been betrayed by people who seemed close to you, but then you realized that they had been holding a grudge against you for a long time? Maybe it was a relative who was offended by you over a trifle but never talked about it. Or a friend who felt that you didn't support him enough, but instead of talking, chose betrayal. Jung said that suppressed emotions are a time bomb. If a person does not work on their shadow, these emotions will explode sooner or later, and betrayal can be their manifestation. How does this manifest itself in life? Imagine that your friend suddenly stops communicating with you, and then you find out that he is spreading rumors about you. Later, you realize that they were offended that you didn't invite them to an event, but never said anything about it. Their suppressed resentment turned into betrayal. Or imagine a colleague who betrayed your trust by telling your boss about a mistake you made. Later, you find out that she had long felt underappreciated and blamed you for it. Jung said that suppressed emotions are a shadow that controls us if we do not make them conscious. Solution: be attentive to hidden resentments. If someone suddenly starts acting strangely, ask yourself, could I have hurt this person? Try talking to them, asking, I've noticed that you've been distancing yourself. Is everything okay? Sometimes an honest conversation can prevent betrayal. But if a person is not ready to be sincere, that is their choice. Wisdom teaches that you cannot be responsible for other people's emotions, you can only protect yourself. We have already discussed the three main reasons for betrayal: envy, fear of your power, and suppressed emotions. Now that you understand why you are being betrayed, let's look at how to heal the pain of betrayal and become stronger. Carl Jung teaches that betrayal is not the end, but a lesson. One that can lead you to inner freedom. Let's do this together, step by step. The first step is to allow yourself to feel the pain. Jung said that suppressing emotions is the path to the inner shadow. If you try to pretend that betrayal has not affected you, the pain will grow inside you. Instead, give yourself permission to feel. Cry if you want to. Write about your emotions in a journal. Talk to someone close to you whom you trust. Wisdom teaches that healing begins with acceptance. When you allow yourself to feel the pain, you begin to let it go. Think about it. How many times have you tried to hold on after being betrayed? Maybe you told yourself, "I mustn't show weakness," or "I can handle it." But suppressing pain only intensifies it. Jung said that emotions are energy. If you don't let them out, they get stuck inside you. Imagine a woman who has been betrayed by her partner. She tried to pretend that everything was fine, but after months she began to feel anger and emptiness. Only when she allowed herself to cry and talk about her pain did she begin to heal. Wisdom says that pain is not weakness, but part of the path to healing. How can you do this? Find a safe space to express your emotions. Write a letter to the person who betrayed you, but don't send it. Express everything you feel: anger, resentment, disappointment. Then burn the letter or tear it up. This is a symbolic way to let go of the pain. Jung said that accepting your emotions is the first step toward inner wholeness. When you allow yourself to feel, you begin to heal. The second step is to reinterpret betrayal as a lesson. Jung said that everything that happens to us has meaning. Betrayal is not an accident, but an opportunity for growth. Ask yourself what this experience has taught you. Perhaps it has shown you who you can trust and who you cannot. Or maybe it has taught you to value yourself more. Wisdom teaches us that betrayal often says more about the person who betrayed you than it does about you. But it also gives you a chance to become stronger. Think about it. What lesson can you learn from betrayal? Perhaps you realized that you trusted people too much who did not deserve it. Or you learned to set boundaries. Imagine a man who was betrayed by a friend who stole his money. At first, he felt angry, but then he realized that this experience taught him to be more careful and to appreciate his true friends. Jung said that difficulties are teachers. When you reframe betrayal as a lesson, you turn pain into strength. How can you do this? Write it down on a piece of paper. What did this betrayal teach me? Maybe you learned to trust your intuition. Or you realized that you deserve better relationships. Write down all the lessons that come to mind. Wisdom says that every experience is a step toward your wholeness. When you see betrayal as a lesson, you stop feeling like a victim. You begin to feel stronger. The third step is to let go and move forward. Jung said that forgiveness is not for the person who betrayed you, but for yourself. Forgiveness does not mean that you have to forget or trust that person again. It means that you let go of the anger and resentment that keep you in the past. When you let go, you free up space for new people, new opportunities, and new happiness. Wisdom teaches us that betrayal is not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. How can you do this? Start by practicing forgiveness. Write, "I let go of anger and resentment because I deserve peace." Repeat this every day. If you cannot forgive the person, forgive yourself for trusting them. Then start building a new life. Find new friends, do what you love, open your heart to new opportunities. Jung said that life is a cycle. Betrayal is not the end, but a chance to start over. Let's summarize. The first reason for betrayal is envy. People betray because they envy your strength or success. The second reason is fear of your strength. Your confidence can scare those who do not accept their shadow. The third sign is suppressed emotions. Resentment and anger that a person is not aware of can lead to betrayal. To heal the pain, do 3 things. Allow yourself to feel the pain, reframe betrayal as a lesson, let go, and move forward. Jung's wisdom teaches that betrayal is not the end, but a lesson. Imagine what it's like to live without anger, without resentment, knowing that you have become stronger. Feel that betrayal has not broken you, but made you wiser. Know that you can trust yourself and build a new life. It is possible. Start with one of these steps today, and you will see how the pain goes away and is replaced by peace. What about you? Have you ever faced betrayal? What lessons did you learn from it? Share your experience in the comments. Your words may inspire someone else to find their path to healing.